Hey, I'm Mel Robbins. I am the international best-selling author of The 5-Second Rule, and I'm also thrilled to tell you that this is the first time I am holding and I am showing you the brand new cover of The 5-Second Rule with updated new videos that come with it that is now available on Amazon. You do not need to buy this book. I'm not trying to sell it to you. I'm just excited because I'm thrilled about the cover. I didn't want to put my face on it when I first published it 2.5 years ago. Can I have the original one behind you?
You sure can.
But then I realized, I do have a nationally syndicated television show. This is the original, which is now in 32 languages, and this is the new one, and I'm so fired up about this cover. Darwin, you're a genius for being the creative director on this. And if you have been wanting to read this book, if you've been thinking about reading this book, please, you should go to the library, you should get it, you should borrow it, do whatever. This book will change your life, and I'm really, really, really proud of the new cover. What do you think of the new cover?
People are
Isn't this
stoked.
awesome? And you know what they did that I really love? They put shiny material on my glasses. And so when the light hits it, the glasses sort of twinkle, which I think is really freaking cool. So this is a live stream that is part of a program that I am teaching right now called Best Decade Ever. There are 130,000 of you in this course around the world. There are 50,000 of you in the private Facebook group. If you're watching this live stream and you are not in the course, you can jump in super easy. You're not behind. Just go to melrobbins.com/bestdecade and you can put your email in and join the fun. What is the fun all about? Well, we're learning about the science of dreaming bigger. And what you are sharing with me is making me so happy. I am hearing from you that you're realizing you don't even know how to dream big. You're realizing that your limited beliefs, your self-doubt, your anxiety, your depression, your PTSD, your parents, that your thinking about what's possible is so limited based on your past. And what you're learning in this course is that dreaming big is critical because it creates possibility in your life. We've also talked about how you can pick a theme for the year and use that theme from one of your dreams in order to create small behavior changes that make a huge difference in your day-to-day life and help you move toward your dreams. And right now, week number 3, you know what we're talking about? We're talking about one of the most important aspects of achieving your dreams, and that is surrounding yourself with what I call a dream team who will challenge you, who will support you, who will motivate you, and who will give you the shove that you need in order to keep moving forward, even when things seem bleak. Just this morning, I had a breakdown because I'm not going to tell you the details of it because I can't yet, but I had a breakdown because I started to feel like something that I really want isn't going to work out. And thank God I had someone on my dream team here to give me a pep talk and yank my head out of my ass so that I didn't spend the day swimming in the toilet of self-doubt and despair. But I climbed my way back out and got into the land of possibility and into the land of believing and into the land of action, which is the land you need to be walking on if you want to make your dreams come true. And that's why the people that you surround yourself with are critical. And so what we're going to do in this video is I'm going to answer a couple questions. And I also want to tell you that you are with me in what is, I call this the apartment. This would be considered the green room, which is the room that I hang out with all the producers of the Mel Robbins show, right here. I hang out with our producers here from 7 o'clock in the morning till about 6:30 at night. We are in between taping the Mel Robbins show here at the CBS Broadcast Center, and you are sitting here with me in the apartment at CBS Broadcast Center. We've already taped the first show. Producers are going to come running in here in about 15 minutes, and so I got 15 minutes to answer your questions. Normally, I do Q&As on Fridays, but we're doing it today because my parents are visiting from Michigan. I haven't seen them in a couple months, and I am tuning out and I'm not working and I am focusing on hanging out with them tomorrow. So let's jump into the Q&A. Eric has a question. This comes from Facebook. And if you have a question, throw them in the comments. Just make sure you tell me where you're watching from. How do you let go of a friend you have more than 20 years of a relationship with, and you've outgrown them because they bring too much negativity and complaining? How many of you have a friend like this? They've been a long-term friend in your life. You've known them for a decade or more. But as you've grown, you feel that you're outgrowing them. For whatever reason. Eric's reason is that this person complains and is negative and doesn't do anything to change. And here's the kicker. For several years, I've tried to help them out of their negative rut. How do I let go of this friend that I care about but don't want to hang out with without hurting them? So here's the quote I want you to hold on to. I love this. A length of a friendship doesn't equal the strength of the friendship. I'm going to say that again. A length of a friendship does not equal the strength of a friendship. And I believe that you live your life in chapters. And there are some chapters of your life where friends that you've had for a long time are going to be pivotal. They're going to be central. They're going to be foundational. They're going to provide what you need right now. And then there are going to be chapters of your life where friendships that have been around for a long time might drift into different patterns. If this person's not toxic and they're not destructive, you don't need to cut them out of your life. What you need to do is change the patterns in terms of how much you hang out with them. It's really that simple. So if you have somebody in your life that you've been friends with for a very long time and they're super negative and you're into personal development and you're growing and you're expanding and they're holding you back, no problem. The first step is to do what Eric did. Try to help them become a more positive person. Now, you know you can't change somebody else. You can recommend things. You can tell somebody you're worried about them. I follow the 6-month rule on this. Spend 6 months trying to help somebody make positive changes in their life if they're struggling. And if you don't see the person doing anything new in 6 months, that is a signal to you that they're not planning to. And it's at that moment that you can say, I'm worried about you. I see you're not doing anything to change it. I am here if you need me, but I can't be around the negativity anymore. So either you stop complaining and being negative around me, or you change your life, or I'm going to hang out a little bit less. And if you don't want to have that direct conversation, at least have the conversation where you tell your friend, I'm worried about how negative you've gotten. Is there anything I can do? If you need anything, call me. And then just start to step away. The cool thing about a great friendship is that it will go in and out of seasons. I think of my dear, dear friend, Jody, who was my best friend in elementary school. We grew apart a little bit in high school. It was a tiny high school, but I was, super focused on my boyfriends like an idiot instead of being focused on having a deep relationship with girlfriends, but that's a whole nother story. And because I went off to college in 1986 when there was no social media and no cell phones, we of course lost touch. I went out east for college. She stayed in Michigan. I built a life out east. She stayed in Chicago. My childhood best friend wasn't even at my wedding because we hadn't been in touch for 10 years. I had a whole new group of friends based on my life out east and my job in New York City. It happens. The pattern of my life changed. But thankfully, we have come back together later in life, and she is now, again, one of my closest friends. And so patterns change, and that will change your relationships. So Eric, that's how you step away. Follow the 6-month rule of trying for 6 months to help your friend out. Tell your friend you're worried about them. Tell them that you don't want to hear about the negativity, but that if they need help to call you, and then just start to distance yourself. It's really that simple. Now let's go on to Madison. Madison has a question from our texting platform. I'm 24 years old. I still live with my parents for financial reasons. I love them, but they seem to disapprove of every decision I want to make. From my career to whether or not to move in with my boyfriend of 2 years. I struggle with always needing that okay from my parents. I don't want to disappoint them, and it constantly makes me second guess my decisions. How do I move past it? So how do you move past the fact that you have indecision because you don't want to disappoint your parents? This is a choice. You have to decide that you're going to change this pattern. I think a lot of us make the mistake of saying that our parents being worried about us is the same thing as our parents pressuring us. You see, there's a big difference between your parents being worried about your decision to change your career or worried about you moving in with your boyfriend and your parents being disappointed in you. You want to know the truth? Unless your parents are really fucked up, they're not going to be disappointed in you. They're going to love you. But the one thing no child can change is you will never be able to change the fact that your parents are always going to worry about you. What you can control is what you do with that worry. Do you turn your parents' natural worries that are never going to go away into pressure that you put on yourself to second guess yourself? That's the change you need to make if you're worried about disappointing your parents. This is your life. You have to learn how to make decisions that empower you. You want to know why? Because you're the one that's going to be left with the consequences of your decisions, not your parents. The only time your parents get to vote on what you're doing once you're an adult is when they're paying the bills. That's the only time they get to vote. If you're independent, if you're able to pay your own rent, if you're making your own money, if you contribute in the house that you live in, you are fully responsible for the decisions that you make. And that means you're also fully responsible for the consequences of those decisions. And so, Madison, there's no simple fix to this. There's a decision to make because your parents are always going to worry about you. You've got to decide you're not going to allow that to turn into pressure. You've got to decide that you get one shot at this thing called life, and you are going to make decisions that empower you. And when you start to make decisions that empower you, something funny is going to happen. You're going to start to feel more in control. You're going to start to feel happier. You're going to start to feel like an adult. And your parents are going to see you taking responsibility for your life. They're going to see you standing behind your decisions. And guess what? They're going to start to worry a little bit less. Try it out. Let me know how it works. All right, let's go to Katie. This is also a question from text. Hey, Mel, how do I not let the emotions of other people affect me? When I'm around people who are negative, how many of you get affected by people who are negative, rude, nasty? You let their emotions impact your psychology. How many of you struggle with that? The negativity is contagious. How do I keep positive when somebody is negative around me? Well, here's the thing. Emotions are contagious. So what you're feeling is normal. We are energetic human beings. Our brains are designed that way. That's not some woo-woo shit I'm trying to throw at you. You have something called mirror neurons that have you pick up on the emotional energy of other people. It's a protection and a bonding mechanism that makes you feel what other people are feeling unless you are a narcissistic fuck who has no empathy. So if you're around negative people, guess what? You could absorb it. If you're around positive people, this is why it's so important for you to be mindful and deliberate about building a dream team of positive people who are around you. Why positivity? Because it's a strategy. Being optimistic means you recognize the bullshit in front of you, but you're optimistic, you're positive, that your actions and your attitude can change the bullshit in front of you. That's what optimism means, okay? It's a strategy that you need to adopt in your life because it's a strategy that works. It's a strategy that makes you see solutions. It's a strategy that makes you call bullshit. It's a strategy that makes you more confident. It's a strategy that gives you control. And so you want to surround yourself with positive people. You want to surround yourself with successful people. You want to surround yourself with optimistic people because just like negativity, you can catch that positivity. So what do you do if you're surrounded right now, not by a dream team, but a dread team that is bringing you down with their negativity? Here's what you do. First of all, Put up a force field. Put up a force field. You see these viruses going around the world right now that people are starting to freak out about? People wear masks to block the virus. Just because they have it. If you're conscious that somebody negative is coming on, put up a force field. How do you do that? The best force field in my mind, feel sorry for people who are negative. Whoa. Wow, your life must really suck if you're taking the shit out of me. The most recent example I can give you of when I almost caught negativity is Megan and I were boarding a plane, and they called our, section, and I did not see this person that was standing. I just didn't see her, and I just walked forward, and she turned to her friend, and I've got like laser ears, and goes, "Oh, why didn't you just run me over?" And I turned and I smiled and I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. Would you like to go first?" And she was like, "Negativity, negativity, negativity." And it was like a sincere, "Would you like to go first? I'm sorry, I didn't see you." And then I turned to Megan and I'm like, I feel so bad for people that get so bent out of shape out of literally just having somebody step in front of them and didn't see them. I mean, can you imagine how bad somebody's life is? Whoa. I stay positive. She stews in her negativity. I put a force field up. Because here's the thing, when you put a force field up, their negativity stays over there. It doesn't catch you, and it doesn't have to. You can make a choice that you're not going to let other people's bullshit trigger you. And look, I realize you may have childhood trauma. You may have PTSD. You maybe had a boss that was an asshole, and so now you're on edge all the time, like you're going to get called out at work or called out at home. That is somebody else's shit, okay? And if you've got that stuff, you got to be responsible for your shit and not allowing situations to bring out that negative stuff from the past when there's no evidence that it's happening right now. And so that's how I would police negativity. And this is the singular most important thing that I can teach you, that your thoughts are everything, that you can choose what you think about. And when you demand that your mind default to the positive, when you demand to believe that your dreams could be bigger, when you demand that the temporary setback that you're facing right now, the bad news that you're afraid to hear, that this is temporary, that you can survive it, that you're still going to be able to achieve the things that you dream about, despite what's about to happen, despite the things that you fear about, despite the negativity that's around you. You got to fight to keep a positive mind. That is the most important thing that you can do. Do we have any other questions? Quick question.
We should wrap this up just because they're about to come in for briefing, but I'll roll this video.
Oh, okay. So can I have where's the photo, Megan? You texted it?
But I can show both cameras this. I can show both cameras, my computer.
Oh, okay.
So we'll just roll it back.
So I want to just say something. If you are in the New York City tri-state area, if you can get to New York, if you have always wanted to meet me and you're in Best Decade Ever, I have a super cool thing. I have been mentioning this on the live streams and in the posts, that if you're in Best Decade Ever and you come to the Mel Robbins show, taped right here in New York City on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at CBS Broadcast Center, and you tell the audience coordinators that you are part of the Mel Robbins show, guess what? We will hold you after the taping, and I will come out and I will have a private meeting with you. I will sign whatever books you bring. I would love it if you have the new one, but I'll sign whatever you bring, whether it's your book or my book or somebody else's book. I will sign your Best Decade Ever workbook, the dream book for this week. I will take a photo with you. And I would love to meet you. And what's so cool is I started mentioning this just last week. And guess what? Every day this week, there has been a student from Best Decade Ever who has shown up for a taping. So go to melrobbinshow.com. And right on the homepage, you can not only find your local listings where you can watch the Mel Robbins show 5 days a week on television here in the United States, soon to be in Australia, but you can also get tickets for free. How amazing is that? I want to show you footage we shot today, literally a half an hour ago, with 3 people that showed up here that are students in Best Decade Ever. Just check this out.
All right, I'm coming there.
Okay.
We have double audio, so we got it.
All of you that are in Best Decade Ever, you're in Best Decade Ever, or you're just a fan, I want to invite you to come to
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Excellent. Sorry, I got distracted. ADD moment. There you go. I was looking at the text that was going out to the, 20,000 people that are part of our texting community, telling you that we were going to do this live stream. So that's it. Very exciting day here at CBS Broadcast Center, meeting best decade ever students. If you can get to New York, if you're in the tri-state area, please go to melrobbinshow.com to get free tickets to the show. Please tell our audience coordinators that you're part of Best Decade Ever. Please bring your workbook so I can sign it. We'll take photos just like you saw right there in that video that we shot literally 20 minutes ago here at CBS. And that's it. Have an amazing week. In case nobody else tells you, let me be the one to tell you that I love you. I believe in you and your ability to cut the negative bullshit out of your mind and your life, to elevate the circle of people that are around you, to build a dream team that will help you take your dreams to the next level. You know, I'm confronted by this too, because when I write down my big dreams and I see how much I want to go build in the next decade and the impact that I want to make building a lifestyle brand and a content business that's all around mental health and around helping people heal and live a richer and more fulfilling life up here, there's a ton of stuff I don't know. There's a dream team that I need to build in order to achieve my big dreams. And so I'm in this course with you. I'm just as confronted as you are when I think about how much there is to do. And I'm just as excited as you, which is why it's so important to fight to be positive, because there's no reason why you can't achieve your dreams. No reason at all, not in today's world. And that's why I'm doing this program, to remind you that yes, you can do it. Yes, you can beat the shit in your mind. Yes, you can find more positive people. Yes, you can find people that can help you get to that next level. And yes, you can fight all those limiting beliefs and those bullshit excuses that have stopped you up until now so that you can make your dreams come true. All right, I'll see you online.